Oh. Oh, okay. Welcome in. Ultimate Rare Fat Crim stream has arrived. It's been however long, like 2 weeks since I last streamed, because, you know, Mr. Consistent Streamer, that's what I am. Today, we are going to keep things very simple, keep things bland, keep things easy. I've been busy all this morning. I say this morning since, like, you know, 9 PM yesterday. I've been up all night. I've been making videos. I've been making a lot of shorts, so I'm a bit knackered. But I thought I'd hop on because I've got some free time. So today, we're just going to do 1 round of my Jenson button driver career. Should take about an hour and 20, hour and 30, and we'll go from there. Let's just make sure that, oh, hang on, I completely forgot to unmute my mic on Twitch and Kick. Apologies for that, Twitch and Kick viewers. Howdy. Welcome in. Let's do it. Keeping things nice and brief today, because I think I finally figured out this streaming ball. And here we go. So everything's ready. We've got our goals, which I still don't know what they do, but I've set them anyway. R&D is looking good. We do have a regulation change, and we do actually need to adapt quite a few car parts. Luckily for us, though, there's only 1 more. We've got 2 races left, and to get that sorted. And for those that haven't really watched this series, you're going to be disappointed, probably. As you can see, Williams currently have the 6th fastest car on the grid, and for most of the season, we've been in the bottom 3. You take a look at the standings, and it looks like this. To be honest, at most tracks, I set the difficulty way too low, like I do in pretty much every series I've done. The first season of my Ayrton Senna career mode, I set the difficulty way too low. I won the championship way too easily. Even in Season 2, it was still a little bit too easy. Has to Glory, Season 1, which, go to school, little man. What? Why would I go to school? I've already, like, finished school. I mean, my mate's gone to school. I'll go tell him. Anyway, yeah. I've won a bit too much, as you can see. I have got, oh, that's actually a lot worse when I look at it like that. 5 wins, 2 P2s and a P3. Huh. Yeah, that's... You know what, anyway, might as well just finish this season on a high, try and win the championship, and then we'll sort of do a little reset next season. So, let's go. Okay. Get me gloves on. Which definitely need replacing, I'd say, at this stage. They're a little bit, you know, knackered. But they get the job done. So, they can last for a little while longer, I reckon. And, boom. Right, now the difficulty, I'm not entirely sure what to do today, because my House to Glory video that I released earlier today, about an hour ago, I set the difficulty to 108, and was, you know, let's do 109. That's what my brain's telling me, right? It says 109, so that's what we're going to do. And let's go to practice 1. I almost skipped straight to quali, but I forgot on live streams I actually do practice, because Why not? Does amaze me how I've used computers for 4 or 5 years now, like, every day, and I still don't really know how they work. Alright. Hang on, what am I trying to do? Okay. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done it. Lovely. Let's get started. First of all, we have a little bit of Las Vegas. And setup is all good. Right, first practice program is going to be track acclimatization. I like this program because, I don't know, I just do. It's basically just driving a lap. You know, at fuel management and tyre management, I'm forced to drive, like, differently to, like, normal. And I don't really like that. Oh, had the wheel bug. Don't worry. Little flashback sorts it out, and a bee. Right, now I'm not gonna make any promises, but I'm probably gonna crash a fair bit. I'm just gonna be honest. So if that, like, yeah, okay, right. Now, in my defense, that's how I've been driving in my Haas, and the Haas handled it perfectly fine. So, give me a minute. Let me actually, like, focus a little bit. Keep in mind, I'm very tired. I feel like I'm under the influence. Right, there you go. Oh, big snappage, yeah. I'm not a fan of the oversteer this car is showing on the opening corners, but it's okay. It's fine. Now, yeah, of course, I don't need to, like, go quick. I don't need to, like, preserve fuel. It's just driving a lap. And that's all it really is. Now, what's the grip like on the exit? Is it squirrely? Oh, it's very squirrely. What about on the exit of here? Oh, Jesus, no. Oh, I don't think this is going to be too fun, you know. I am not looking forward to the rest of this weekend. Oh, I might have to... I don't know, what do you... Well, I forgot what you changed. I mean, to be fair, I say I forgot. I never really knew in the first place. But what you changed to a car setup to make it less oversteery, something with a differential, I know that, but I don't know any more than that. I really should get more, like, technically clued up on how setups work in this game, but to be honest, I don't really care enough. I just sort of go online, copy a setup, and go, yeah, this feels alright, and go from there. That's all I really do. Yeah, feeling quite snappy, I think, is a good term. Feeling snappy is a good way to put it, but, you know, we're doing track acclimatization. It's all purple, so I don't really care, to be honest. I don't care how the car feels. It's working. And I haven't actually had a bad crash yet. I'm going to regret saying that in probably 5 seconds' time, but, you know, we're here. Can I go flat through there? Oh, barely. But I can. And not a bad first lap. I mean, not fun. Car feels terrible. But we lived, you know? And that's all you really need from a car, is just, you know, get to the end of the lap and say, I am, you know, living. I think I might... Let me go check my downforce settings, because I used 10.3 in my video earlier. I want to see if this has got 7.0. Let's see. Yes, it's 7.0. I'm going to change it to 10.3, because I genuinely think that is, like, a lot better. So, we'll see how that feels. I don't think it'll completely fix all of my troubles, the massive oversteering moments. But, yeah, let's see. And then I don't even noticed that before. I mean, obviously this is Vegas, and they've probably tried to make it look as realistic as possible, but they just, like, saw a shop that said Much Burgers. How long did it take for... Is that a real place? Surely that's not a real place, right? That can't be a real place. What's good, boss? You right, Demi? How you doing, mate? Surely Much Burgers isn't a real place in Vegas. Because that's the worst name for a thing in the history of things. Like, that is awful. And if it isn't real, how long must it have taken Cody's to come up with that one? Like, what, 5 seconds? Crazy stuff. Okay, tyre wear's looking pretty good, which is surprising to me, because tyre wear isn't my thing. I usually just drive flat out and then pit when the tyres degrade. That's all I really do, and it seems to work most of the time. I say it every now and again. I've done probably thousands of races. I don't even know. Definitely hundreds of races on the F1 games. I have never, on purpose, saved tyres. Like, been a bit more careful on exits to save tyres, or, you know, coasted through corners to save fuel. I don't think I've ever done that before, and I've turned out just fine. Obviously, in real life, it's a different story. In the game, though, you don't really need to. The only thing I'd like to know is how I save, like, a certain tyre. Like, for example, say if, like, my front right is, say, degrading too much. Is there a certain way of driving that stops that? Like, do you take more care through, like, right corners or something like that? I just don't know. I just don't. And that's the problem. This is not very big and smart. But that went pretty well. I mean, to beat the time and save the tyres in the purple is very rare for me. So I'm pleased with that. I'm very pleased with that. I'm also pleased with the fact that even though I'm running on 109 AI... Okay. No one's really done a lap yet. I was going to say 1 second faster than Sainz. What's going on here then? That seems way too fast. But luckily, I don't think many of the AI have actually, like, tried very hard. So now we have race strategy. This is the final program. I don't know. See how I feel. I might do all 5 laps. Usually I can't be bothered. I'll just do 3 and go from there. Because, I don't know, gets a bit boring. We'll see. Whew. This car is not fun. Well, actually, no. It's fun to drive. It's just, I can tell by the snapping, it's not very fast. But let's see how we get on in race strategy. I should be able to beat the lap time very easily. Oh, almost lost it. See, that wouldn't happen in my Haas. Oh, Jesus. What is going on there? That's very dodgy. In my Haas, I wouldn't even get remotely close to spinning there. And that's why I'm like, you know, I keep nearly crashing. So I'm driving like I'm in my Haas. But what's weird is that the Williams is better than the Haas. Like, in this career mode, the Williams is like P6 in the vehicle performance comparison chart. Whereas the Haas is the slowest. So why does the Haas feel so much better? I just don't know these things. I just don't. But I've managed to recover it through Sector 2, so that's okay, I guess. Nice. Not too bad, really. And I might actually get a nice little slipstream off this Aston up ahead. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Feed me the slipstream. Oh, yes. What kind of speed are we looking at? 352? Well, 351. Didn't someone do, like, 360 something in real life? Is Mazepin's spirit guiding, like, Hassel to glory? What? I am too tired to understand these cryptic messages. Oh, see what I mean now. Yeah, definitely. We should get Mazepin back in F1 for a laugh. It'd ease the pressure off Perez as well, and that'd be all the more ideal. That man gets harassed way too much. Because, like, yeah, attack him for his driving, yes, that's fair enough. But most people just attack, like, him. And that, yeah, just stop. I know it happens to everyone, but, like, because he's my favourite driver, it's like, just please leave him alone. Anyway. Car suddenly feels a lot better now. I think I'm getting used to it. I think it's basically what's happened here. I'm just realising that I can't drive it like the Haas, aka a maniac. And yeah, I'm locked. Nice.
Very, very nice.
The ultimate battle between Mazepin and the GOAT Sergeant. That would have been an all-timer. That would have been fan-bloody-tastic. Imagine like Stroll, Mazepin, Latifi, Sargent, and Perez all on one grid. That, wow, that's an all-timer season in the Destructors Championship. That would have been something that you literally just couldn't miss. Scary stuff. Both in Ferrari. That, honestly, Mazepin in Ferrari, like, in a weird twisted universe might have happened because of the Haas links. Like, if he was actually, like, really good, he might have actually gone to Ferrari, which is quite crazy, really. I wonder if my pace is, like, anywhere consistent at all, because it doesn't feel like it. But you never know, really. I feel like one lap I'm really fast, and next lap I'm really slow. But then I could look at the race director, and my lap times are actually, like, quite close to each other. Although nothing will ever match my Ayrton Senna drive at Saudi Arabia, where on the mediums, I done about, like, I don't even know, 8 or 9 laps, and every single lap was within a tenth. So, like, every single lap was, like, a 20-something 0.4, 0.5, or 0.3 every lap. It was pretty crazy, really. Very impressed with myself on that one. I'm hitting 347 without a slipstream. Wait, that means the slipstream was only gaining me 4 kilometers an hour. I'm pretty sure you'd gain a lot more than that in a real-life scenario. If you had ERS, DRS, and a slipstream, you'd gain more than 4. Right, yeah, of course you would. 4 just makes sense. It's the perfect number, really, isn't it? Gotta throw Mr. Nick DeBris in the mix as well. Absolutely. I feel bad for him, to be honest, because, like, he genuinely was, like, not a bad driver. I mean, his Williams drive, I think, was heavily overrated. I feel like, because of the way Albon was that weekend as well, it showed that the Williams was so good in a straight line that it was pretty much impossible to be overtaken. But even when he wasn't in F1, like, for that Williams race, Formula E, he won the championship. I know Formula E isn't that competitive, but you still got to go out there and do it. And then, you know, he was pretty good in it. Did he win the F2 championship as well? And, like, I even know. Wait, did he win the F2 championship? I think he did, didn't he? Because wasn't it, like, 20... When would it have been? 2020, maybe, behind Latifi? That's even more crazy when you think about it, that Latifi finished, you know, second in that F2 season, and actually won, like, many races, and, you know, finished ahead of some really good drivers. Crazy stuff when you think about it nowadays, to what he's become. What has he become nowadays? Didn't he, like, go to, like, a university of business or something, and he's just gonna live off his family's, like, wealth and just grow his own business or something? I mean, hey, good for him. Realistically, he only started driving when he was like 12 or 14, already 6 or 7 years later than anyone else, still made it to Formula 1, still was kind of competitive, still was one of the best drivers in the world, and now he's just pursuing other, you know, interests. Fair enough. And of course, gifted, actually I'm not going to say gifted because that's cringe, he helped Max Verstappen win his first championship. One of the best days of my life, which is depressing, but it just is. So, cheers for that, boss. Can't say the same about Mazepin, though. He basically just crashed a lot. One driver I think a lot of people forget about is Mick Schumacher as well. Like, he was there with Mazepin and wasn't that great, to be honest. I think the issue is that he spoke very highly of himself, but then fumbled the bag harder than Norris on pole position. I think that's the main reason he got so much hate. Yeah. Yeah. No, it is true. It's a good point, really. The bottle more than Norris on pole is crazy as well, but it's entirely true. I think, last time out at Qatar, wasn't it like one of the first times that Lando actually gained a place on the opening lap rather than lose them? Then again, they weren't on pole, so he wasn't going to lose any, was he? But I feel like if Lando just converted poles and just won those races... I mean, I always say it, Lando could have very easily won this year's championship. Very easily. Definitely had the car for it. I know a lot of people say it, but I do believe that if Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Alonso, any of them lot were in that McLaren, they probably would have won the championship. So, yeah, I don't know. Speaking of the devil, there's Lando. Hi, Lando. Bye, Lando. So that's practice done. That went very successfully. I'm not sure about my lap times. Don't know. Let's have a look at them. Are they going to be sort of consistent? Maybe, I hope, potentially, possibly, maybe. Yeah. I don't know why this lap was so horrendous. What went wrong? It was sector 2 and 3. Yeah, sector 3. What happened in these two sectors? Why am I like 3 tenths faster? I don't know, but these 3 laps, pretty good. This is very good. This, no, that's got to stop. But overall, pretty consistent. I think my highlight of the season would be Brazil with Norris commenting on Max saying it wasn't luck and it wasn't skill and just luck. What an all-time quote. Like, you can now use that, like, in most scenarios. Like, that is a horrible thing to say for, like, yourself, like, on record. That is terrible. I think I said it on Twitter at the time. That is, like, by far the worst thing that you can possibly say. And there was no reason to say it as well. Wasn't he, he was in the cool-down room with, like, Hamilton. I don't know when it was. I don't know if it was after the sprint. I don't know if it was... I don't know when it was, but there was a podium where it was Norris and Hamilton. And Norris basically just said, well, you had the fastest car for like 7 years, so of course you won a lot, or something like that. And I just think, why are you saying that? There's no one's confronted you. Why are you saying, oh, it was not skill, it was just luck? That doesn't help you. And no one's gone, oh, it was the best driver of all time, even though it was. I don't know. I think bro's just, I don't even know. I don't know. Although, to be fair, it doesn't matter, like, what Lando does. His fan base will always be funnier to me. Because they're straight out, like, going to war for him on Twitter. Which is quite sad, but there are people that, like, they won't take any shit. Like, you say Lando's a bottle job, they death threat you in the DMs. It's crazy. I've got a couple. And I haven't even said anything that bad. I've just said, like, I remember F1 made a tweet and said, like, it was before Las Vegas in real life, and they said, like, this is how the title fight has developed. And I just said, what title fight? There never was one. And I got 2 death threats from, well, actually, not death threat, borderline, but not really, from Lando fans. It is crazy. He was very skillful, going from P1 to P6 and bottling all restarts, mate. That safety car restart, when he locked up and went off into turn 1, and it just, that thing that says think different is unbelievable banter. I liked Norris a lot, but this season he has just tainted his reputation. I agree. I think he's done that for a lot of people. I feel like before this season he was sort of this, like, just this, I'd say kid. I think kid is reasonable to say, just sort of fun, and, you know, lively and happy. And then this season he just seems to have, like, locked in, and he's sort of become like a bratty teenager. I don't like it. You know? I mean, do whatever you want. I mean, if I go up to him, I don't like how you behave, he just goes, oh, sorry, it was my bad, I'll change. I don't really give a shit what he does, but yeah, you know, he ain't helps himself by some of those quotes, like saying Hamilton only won because of being in the fastest car, saying Verstappen's drive of Brazil was pure luck, saying that after Las Vegas that the McLaren wasn't the fastest car for most of this season. Like, just shut up! Just shush! You know what I mean? Like, come on! Like, just stop. It's making everything worse. Hang on, in the kick chat, is this real? This is from Goal Fun 110. Hi, I'm a verified streamer with over 2,000... Oh no, I've read that wrong. 21,000 followers and a strong viewership. I'm looking to collaborate with smaller streamers to help them grow their channel. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to me on Discord, and it's some random name. Fuck off. You know, Av, one of them. Okay? Lovely. Let's move on. We got quali to do. Trying to get into Q3. I reckon it's definitely doable. Let's make sure the fuel is nice and low. Whoa, don't want that much. No, not at all. Alright, let thy go and get this quali done. I think a top 10 should be reasonable. It should be easy. Should be on the cards. Yeah, let's do it. I mean, this is only Q1. I'm sort of hoping that I can get through without needing to use 2 sets of tyres. I can just get through on the one. But we'll see, because it's very difficult to tell. Because if I do this lap and I'm like, whatever position, like P4, I don't know if I've done enough to get through, and I don't really want to risk it. So, I don't know. Oh, I've got a bit wide there. I was looking at the wrong screen. Oh, I've already outbraked myself. It's a good start to the lap. I think this has already proven to me that I will need to go out for another run. Lung. What an idiot. Let's see what Sector 1 says, though. It might not actually be too bad. Let's see it. It's very bad. Okay, yeah, we are definitely going to need to do a second run here in Q1. Hopefully that means, though, that I'll be able to lock in and only do one run in Q2 and 3 if I get there. I mean, right now I'm currently, you know, down on P16, so getting through to Q2 isn't, you know, guaranteed at this stage. And I've completely cocked that up. This is a horrible lap so far. Oh, wow, I am not cooking. I've just got to hope that my straight line speed can at least get me some time back, because this is, like, tragically slow. This is really, really bad and not fun for all parties involved, really. Trying to recover some speed down the straight. Send it through there on the exit. Okay, I had a nice run through Sector 3. I don't know if it's going to be enough, though, to sort of put me in a good position, because this seems pretty bad, to be honest. Okay. So I've just got a nutty Sector 3, then. Right, yeah. Okay. So my Sector 3 is just on absolute flames. You know what? Who cares? I'm in P9. I actually want to take a look at those sector times, because, like, yeah. Oh, wow, look how much faster I am. 4 temps, 3, oh, 5 temps, 4, 4, 4, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1. Wow. Yeah, that's where my advantage comes from. I might actually increase my downforce in quali to about 13, just so I can get a bit more time in Sector 1 and 2, and I am definitely gonna need to go out again. My gap to the safety is only 3 tenths of a second, which the AI easily find round this truck, so we're gonna have to go again, unfortunately. I'd rather not use another set of brand new softs, but I'd rather use a brand new soft, get into Q2, then go out in Q1, do you know what I mean? That would be more ideal. What it does mean, though, is that I'll only have one set for Q2 and Q3. Although I'm pretty sure in real life you get more than 4 sets of tyres. I don't know, though. I could also get a lovely slipstream off this Alpine as well, which is nice. So realistically, they should go across the line and then immediately move out my way. Yes. Cheers, boss. Into turn 1. Braking was a lot better this time around. Try not to snap the rear off. That was good. Right close to the wall. Get on throttle early. And, oh. Right, I've already found a lot more time than I thought I would have. Okay, that's pretty cool, I guess. Track is all nice and gripped up now. Feeling comfortable. And I've almost spun. And fast is what I'm feeling. What is that time game? That is absolutely rambunctious. Where's that come from? Jeez Louise, Derek. Right. I'm starting to think I didn't need that extra set of tyres, because I probably still would have found a lot of time. Ah, no biggie, who cares? Let's go. Braking in, little touch of the curb, even better through there, and I have just gone and found nearly a second. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? Okay, lovely. I don't know if it's an unpopular opinion, but I prefer the old sprint race style where you would, the finish of the sprint is where you'd start in the race. I hated that. That is an unpopular opinion. The reason I didn't like that was because it just sort of made the races very boring. Because for some reason they also made it so if you took an engine penalty, you would take it in the sprint race. Which meant, I think it happened at Brazil in 2021, that's the only one I can really remember, where Hamilton was at the back of the grid, and then in the sprint, recovered to like 8th, so it sort of ruined, like, comebacks. Because in the sprint, drivers would get back to where they would normally be, where their cars should be. So say like Verstappen, he would take a 10-place penalty, start 15th in the sprint, climb back up to P5, and he's starting P5 for the race. It ruins that bit of, like, you know, racing action. I hated that. Well, to be fair, I hate the sprint race now. I don't like it any less or more. It still needs to go. Practice 1, 2, and 3 it will always remain superior. It just will. Until the end of time, I reckon. Alright, we have one set of tyres for this. If I make any slight cock up, there is a very high percentage that I will be out of qualifying. I do think they should just remove sprint races, though. I mean, yeah, what? It's a bit of extra excitement, but most sprint races are just as dead as, like, the Grand Prix. I don't think it's really that good. Right, here we go. My one and only run of Q2 to get through, and yeah, let's see how we get on. Now, I do have to worry about this Aston of Stroll, and we're good. Not a bad run through the first couple of corners. Into the next one. That was a bit too late on the brakes. No, I got it round there pretty perfectly, actually. 2 tenths up on Nico Hülkenberg. I should realistically have more than enough pace to get into Q3, sorry. So, it won't need the absolute best lap from Fakrim, but still a pretty decent one. I definitely wish they would get rid of it altogether. It really just gives top teams more opportunities to get more points and pull away from bottom teams. That's a very good point. I mean, from that point of view, yeah, definitely. It just allows, like, Red Bull, Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes to stat pad on everyone else. But it's also, from an entertainment point of view, just a bit dull. I mean, of course, having the one practice into sprint quali, sprint race quali, is a lot more exciting than just the normal practice 1, 2, and 3. But the only good part about that is the sprint quali, because that's exciting. The actual race themselves is just, like, a slightly shorter version of the main race, aka just the same dull race where nothing really happens, and, like, no one really gets any overtaking done, because you can't overtake. And they're thinking of adding more in the next couple of seasons, which I just hope they just stay away from the sprint list, you know what I mean? I thought that lap felt pretty good. Okay. Easy entrance into Q3. Easy entrance into Q3. And Alex is also in as well. Well done, son. That's a quality effort by you. Yeah, that was a very nice lap time. 29.8. Very nice. We go into Q3. I doubt a pole position is doable. But, you never know. You just don't know with these things, do you? You could just, out of nowhere, go and get yourself a P1. It does feel really weird that in, well, like what, 5 days, the F1 season is over. It's a very strange feeling because, I don't know, I feel like this year has gone so fast. Not just with F1, but in general. My brain doesn't think we're already in December and the F1 season's about to end. My brain still thinks we're back in, like, July, August, and we are just finishing the summer break. That's what my brain thinks. Maybe it's because, I mean, I didn't watch much F1. Like, after the summer break, I just lost a bit of interest in it, mainly because Perez was so bad. Like, it's like West Ham in football. When they're shit, my week is ruined, and I lose interest in football. Same with F1. When Perez does shit, it ruins my interest in F1. And that's what happened, and I'm about to get cock-blocked by Verstappen, which is not ideal. Can you move, please, boss? I am trying to, you know, do my lap. Cheers, bud. The fact that that's Perez as well is so funny to me. Would be cool if they did a reverse grid for sprint races, but maybe give points for sprint qualifying so top drivers don't bottle their sprint. That is a genuinely fantastic idea. Like, genuinely a brilliant suggestion. That was always spoken about. You know, giving points, not giving for reverse grids. That was like one of like the most like widely like given suggestions, because that would actually make it really exciting. And then I think what they should do is do what you said, reverse grid, give points for quali. So like you said, top drivers don't just, you know, spin out, and so they can, you know, start first. And also, give more points for the sprint. I think I came up with a system that rather than being 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, be like 12, 9, 7, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just so there's a little bit more value in them and they might actually try a little bit harder. I mean, in the Qatar sprint race, I know Perez was like P16, but Blood was literally using it for a test session. There was that little interest in it. Now, I'm kind of disappointed by this lap. It definitely isn't good enough for pole. And... wait, no, actually, hold up. Okay, yeah. Not good enough for pole, but somehow I still managed to improve on my Q2 run. Don't know why I did that, to be honest. I'm not sure, because that just didn't feel very good. No, I'm perfectly happy with that. That is perfectly fine with me. You know, 20 milliseconds ahead of Lando, so that's good. I was, you know, 40 milliseconds off Sainz. Probably could have found that, but would have been tricky. I'm fine with that. That's great. P4 and 6, penultimate round of the season. Title rivals only 2 places ahead of me, and we're only 1 point behind Ferrari, and they're P1 and 3, which ain't ideal. Yeah. Alright, let's get this race done with then. We have got an 18 lap belter. That means that today, after I finish this race, I would have driven 36 race laps at this track. I would have done 2 quali sessions, technically 4 quali sessions because Q1, 2, and 3, and then the other was a short quali, and a practice. So you're looking at about 10 plus, you know, 7. You're looking at about a 55 laps of Vegas today, almost an entire Grand Prix. I'm hoping the 26 regulation change was smaller, hopefully more nimble cars make racing more like 2007 to like 2012. I'm also hopeful of that. I mean, to be fair, the cars aren't that much smaller. They're definitely smaller, but still ginormous compared to like 2016 when they were like really tiny. But I do think that making the cars a lot smaller is the #1 like cure save of racing in F1, because I believe that the main reason that no one can really pass is because they're going to tracks. On these racetracks, the track is actually quite narrow, and these cars are ginormous. Like, you can't even overtake at Qatar, that's quite a wide track, because the cars are so wide. You can't go wheel to wheel, because most corners aren't wide enough for it. No, I do think that, like, a 2016 shaped car and, like, weight of the car, with, like, today's, like, regulation, like, the ground effect, like, downforce, and DRS, that could go crazy. I also think they should make it mandatory 3 stops, or at least 2 stops for a race. And I'd say to make it mandatory, they should make the tyres wear more, which I know that sounds a bit mad, because you're basically asking to make the tyres worse, but that's exactly what I'm asking. I'm asking to make the tyres worse. I think I also help. I think if they do that, plus what I said with the, you know, the car shape and the rules, that could be prime F1. Won't happen though. It just won't. Anyway, let's start this Las Vegas Grand Prix. I had a really good start here in my video today. Can I do it again? On the live stream? Yes. No. You know what? Yes. Absolutely. Already around the outside of Sainz and Verstappen into turn 1. Not going to get it on Verstappen, but I reckon I can get the move on Sainz. Ooh, scary. Oh, oversteer. No, we are perfectly fine. If they are, maybe just make the tracks like 4 times wider, like the Autobahn. Yeah, that would also maybe work. I'm not against it. Go ahead, do it. That could probably work. Me and you save Formula 1 with these brainful ideas. I also wish I was in charge of the making of this game, the F1 games, because I reckon I can make these unbelievably good as well. The thing is with this game is that it isn't bad. I reckon it's just F1 23 was quite good, and then they just made F1 23 but worse. But this game isn't bad. I know people complain about the handling a lot, but I don't really know what they're complaining about, because like, that's the thing is, everybody says the handling is terrible, but then won't say what's bad about it. Like, what is so bad? I realize that, you know, the car's a bit unpredictable, it's not very consistent, but that's about it. You know? I don't know what is bad about it, but I reckon what I would do is that if I was in charge of the F1 games, I would just make 2020 handling, but make it feel a little bit heavier, because the cars are heavier, and then I would just make things feel more immersive. For the first thing I would do is that when there's a red flag, rather than just fading to black, and then you end up on a menu screen, I would make it so you actually have to drive back into the pit lane, and then when you're selecting the strategy, it'd be like when you're selecting the strategy at the start of a race. You can be in the pit lane, and you'll see all the mechanics around, and that kind of thing. And then you'll hold, like, the tablet up. And then, when you win a race, or when someone wins, it will play the national anthems. I feel like that will also just be a lot cooler. And just little things like that. Just make things a lot more immersive. And go from there. I would also add all the other penalty types. I would add pit lane starts. I would add, you know, stop and goes, because you don't get that. I don't think you get stop and goes. I know you get drive-throughs, but you don't get stop and goes. I would add, you know, harsher black flags, maybe. I would add fuel leaks. I'd add oil flags. I'd make, I don't know. Make it more immersive. As an Aussie, I'll take over and become the new Michael Massey. I would love an actual manual pit stop, not just a button press. I don't really know how that would work, but yeah, just make the game more immersive is all I'd do. Make the handling like 2020, so it makes everyone happy. Even though I hate 2020's handling, it's way too snappy. But just so people are happy, make it like that, and then just make the game more immersive, and then bosh, quality F1 game. And also, I think the main thing they should do to make the F1 games good again is have an active, functional, proper esports scene. I think that could go crazy. I know they already have one, but they do like one 1 week champion or 1 weekend championship every year, I think if they did like a, you know, like PSGL, but on a much higher level, like run by F1 with official teams and stuff like that, that would be so good for the scene, I reckon, because it gets people watching, and maybe the official F1 on like Twitter, on YouTube can promote it, because I know they used to do that as well. They would like broadcast it on there and like upload highlights. I think that'd be really cool as well. It's just the thing the thing that like bothers me most is that this game is bad, and the F1 games in the last few years have been bad, and I'm sort of depending my hopeful future career on next year's F1 game being good, because if it's just as bad as this one, I mean, when I say just as bad, I mean people think of it as bad, then I'm mudded. Because I ain't going to be able to do this, you know, unemployed, sat inside. I can't do that for another, like, 2-3 years after this. So if there ain't no hype around next year's game, I might have to, like, become a poet. That could be quite fun. Good morning. F1 25 in Grand Prix should be F1 Academy and F3. I don't know about F1 Academy, because those cars are just depressingly so. I don't like F5. F3, I'm on board with. That would be very good. I like a bit of F3. Maybe you could add, like, a career mode where, like, you work your way up the ladder. So you'd start in, like, you know, F4, and then if you win that, you'll get a contract for F3, and then so on. A bit like, because they do it now, but you do, like, half a season in F2, and that's it. Imagine, like, F4 and F3 as well. That could be really cool. And make it, like, quite long, like a whole season, not just, like, 3 or 4 rounds. I think I could go quite crazy. I mean, Assetto iRacing, even Gran Turismo, and even some races in Forza have manual pit stops. Yeah, they do. I love Gran Turismo. I have played that, or Gran Turismo 7 specifically. That's the only Gran Turismo I've played, because, well, it's the only one that come out since I got a PlayStation and a wheel. I love that game. I've put, like, I mean, I say I love it. I've put 200 hours into it, which sounds like a lot, but when you consider that, I mean, if I go off this and go on this, you can see I've spent 164 hours on GT7. That's in, like, 2 or 3 years. F1 24 has been out for how long? Like, well, it came out in, like, May, didn't it? So it's, like, I don't know, end of July, end of June, end of August, end of September, end of October, and it's, like, we'll call it 6 months, and I've got this many hours. So, yeah, but great game, nonetheless. Still a fantastic game. I've also played Assetto Corsa quite a lot. I am intending, maybe in the future, maybe next year, upgrade a PC or get a whole different PC if I can somehow find the means to afford one. And I want to get Assetto Corsa on it, and I also want to get F1, like 25 or 24, but with mods, because I think that can make some series really interesting. My current PC isn't nowhere near good enough to not only play those games, it can't even do that, but also then record those games. Not gonna happen. Plus, Formula E should have a solo game in the future. Oh, the things I would do to get a Formula E game. I think I would bang on a Formula E game, because I'm really good at street tracks, getting close to walls, and I love that kind of racing. Close to walls, sort of slow. Very, very good. I think also having your performance affect your career would be good, like it kind of does now, but just like more fleshed out. I agree. I feel like at the moment as well, it's definitely oh. Okay, sure. Just red flag the race, why not? I think at the moment it's definitely a bit like too lenient. I mean, you could drop in, I mean, I've not even managed, I've played 3 seasons of driver career, I've done 1 whole season of Has to Glory, 2.5 seasons of my Senna driver career, 2 seasons of my team, a season of this. So that's like, you know, 7-8 seasons. I have never, like, performed so badly that my rating has dropped too far down and I get sacked or anything like that. Like, that's never happened before. They need to make it a lot more harsh. Especially if they do have, like, an F4 or an F3. That'd be so good. Now imagine you do like a whole season of like F3 and you have to finish like in a certain like top 6 to get a contract for F2. And then actually I think you make it even more fleshed out because F4, 3 and 2 don't have like, you aren't paid to drive, you pay them to drive. So you can have a system where like you get sponsors, but you have to complete certain objectives like they do now, but like more complicated. Complete objectives to earn money from the sponsors to afford a seat at the next level. That could be something. Not very unique or, you know, different, but that could be quite cool. Anyway, race restart number 2 in Las Vegas, starting P1 on the hard tyres. And we are away, and my car bottomed out. Come on, get going, baby. Oh, I've almost spun. Yep, okay, my car bottomed out. I have come to the conclusion, I think that's what happens when you don't have enough RPM in the car, or something like that. I'm not sure what it is, but it's lost me quite a lot of positions, I will say. Very harsh, but it'd be cool if you could be bad like Mazepin or Debris and get sacked, and no other team will hire you, so you have to start a new career. That is crazy, but also a fantastic idea. Imagine that, you're so bad that no F1 team wants you. Maybe then, here's another idea, you could maybe try and become a reserve driver for a team, and then you'd get like maybe 1 or 2 like races, and then you do those races and then you sort of have to prove yourself, and then if you drop a stinker in those, then you're done. But if you do well, then like a bottom team might fancy you. That could be another. I feel like we've sat here for 10 minutes and already come up with such a cool idea to make career mode even better. They're not going to do anything more. Like, it's depressing. It's depressing how much better that, you know, a couple of numbskulls in like a 10-minute window of like come up with such a cool idea, and yet Codemasters won't do anything. Also, just the community in general have come up with such cool ideas for like stuff in the game, just like content in general. I mean, I was absolutely stunned when they dropped the Oscar Piastri. Oh, no, what was it? I don't remember. It was the Lando Norris Brazil scenario. They advertised it as a 1991 Brazil Grand Prix flashback. Now, what it's flashbacking to, I'm not entirely sure, but in the scenario, you drive as Lando Norris, you have gearbox problems, and you're being hunted down by Leclerc and Alonso. Now, on F1 23, there was a featured event where you drove as Lewis Hamilton with gearbox problems, being chased by Leclerc and Alonso. And in fact, Leclerc DNFs in both scenarios on the same lap in the same place. They literally copy and pasted a scenario from one game and put it on another, and then advertised it as a 1991 flashback. But I don't see any links to 1991. That was sort of when I sort of came to the conclusion that, yeah, this franchise is in the mud, really, isn't it? And with the rumours that F1 Manager 25 ain't gonna happen, it ain't looking too good. And to be fair, the F1 Manager game I don't really like. I don't like manager games. I don't like Football Manager. I don't like FIFA Manager. I don't like any of them. I just thought oh shit. I just thought on F1 Manager, the AI, the thing that bothered me most is the AI drive really weird. I mean, I know I'm in an intense race right now, but to show an example, the AI would drive like this. They'd drive like that. They would miss the braking, go out of line, and then wiggle all about the place. Didn't like that part. Anyway, let's lock in on this race. So we need to chop. Oh, drain. I thought that's a charge ERS. I was gonna say, like, what do you mean charge? Okay. Drain it to 23. I don't think that's gonna do too good for my race. Plus, bring back classic cars and tracks back into the game and have a future Cadillac, Audi, and Toyota test, or add Grand Prix. Yeah, no, more. And a real engine, yes, a real actual good sounding engine as well. That would be nice. I mean, I understand why classic cars haven't come back, because they don't have the licensing for it. I don't understand why they can't just get the licensing. Maybe they just want to save that much money and earn that much money back. Classic tracks, again, licensing problems, but some that I can think of, Sepang, Hockenheim, I don't even know. Istanbul Park would be really, really cool. Mugello would be really nice. I know they aren't really classic, but they're still really good tracks. And I mean, actually, to be fair, if you think about it, on F1 2020, we got Vietnam. Remember that? We got the Vietnam circuit, and then it didn't happen because of COVID. And that track, I don't even know, it just ceased to exist. Like, what happened to that track at Vietnam? It was actually quite a cool track as well. I mean, it was very basic, but it was quite cool. What about Valencia as well? It's sad that some people on a live stream can build a much better idea for the F1 games than a multi-million-dollar company. Oh yeah, exactly. I feel like, to be fair though, I suppose this is in defense of EA, but this is more of a call-out of those that blame EA. It's just not EA's problem at all. At least, it mostly isn't, because EA don't do anything. They just publish the game and make it look like an EA game, so it's a lot more, like, proper. It's still Codemasters and the same people that made F1 2020 that make this game. The same, you know, lack of content, no originality, the same thing, just, you know, carbon copied. Although, to be fair, I feel like a lot of people have forgot about this, but it was announced that the people that did the handling for Project Cars 3 was going to do the handling for this game. And that game, from, you know, people that play that game, said that the handling was horrible. So, that's probably why this game's handling turned out so horrible. But again, I still don't know exactly what's wrong with the handling, apart from the unpredictability. I suppose I've already put 400 hours into this game. I've gotten used to it at this point, but at the start, it was quite difficult. I truly agree that I don't really like Manager either. I couldn't do the second season due to cancelling 2 future Manager games. It was so sad and dreadful. Yeah, I feel like with F1 Manager though, the reason they're stopping, I mean it's rumoured, it isn't official by any means, it could be a load of bollocks, is that they weren't earning it, enough from it, which is understandable, because like, it's such a small amount of people that like the game, and like, you know, are entertained by it. Which is, you know, this is the thing that's quite odd to me, is that F1 as a sport is huge, especially over the last few years. Hundreds and hundreds of millions of people come in and watch every race. Maybe not hundreds and hundreds, but still, millions and millions of people come and watch the races every week. So why is only like a few thousand of them interested in the F1 game and F1 Manager? I understand not every single person just sits on their ass and plays games, but you're telling me that only like 1% of F1, you know, real life F1 fans play the games, and it's less than that. It's pretty crazy to me. I mean, to be fair, the only time the F1 games were popular was in 2020, but the only reason that game was popular was because there was an esports scene, and there was COVID, so all the drivers were at home playing the game. So thousands were watching the drivers because it was the drivers, and they were like, oh, they're playing the F1 game, this looks quite cool, let me go play the F1 game. That's what they should do, that's what Codemasters and EA they should do. They should get like Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, Albon, Russell, and maybe like Piastri. Get them all in during the summer break or something, and just do like a 1 to 2 hour live stream of playing this game, just mucking about. Because that's what made 2020 so popular, was because of COVID. And all the drivers were at home just streaming. Like, that was a crazy time. I wish I was into F1 back then. That would have been so funny. Imagine just like turning up one day, going on like Twitch and just seeing like Leclerc in a banana costume playing F1 2020. Like that's just crazy to me. But it's also this weird thing that I was thinking about earlier. I mean, I play Apex Legends a lot, which is another EA game, or EA published game. And that game's also rotten and in the mud, with like horrible, where the game's horrible. And it makes me think, these companies like EA, they just want money. But then why do they make their like companies, their, you know, own, like, studios, make such terrible games? Because realistically, they're trying to cash out every last penny they can. But if they made the game better, more people would buy it, they would earn more money from it. It's this crazy thing to me. I understand that they want to make it as low effort as possible so that they, you know, can spend less and earn more. But if they just invested a bit more money and made the game better, they would probably earn a fortune back. It's weird corporate thing. I don't know much about it, but it's odd to me. I like how I've just been sat here talking about the F1 games this whole time. Meanwhile, I'm in a race and I'm winning. You know? Actually, if things stay as they are, I think I might be a 2-time world champion, you know? No. Not a 2-time. I wouldn't be a 2-time world champion or a 1-time world champion. My points gain would only be... My gap would be 19 going into Abu Dhabi. Which is still very good, obviously. I've been following F1 since, like, 2011. And I feel like 2018 to 22 was some of the best years, but now it's sort of dying up. It's definitely not as good as it used to be. I know, very big boomer. I don't know. I mean, I started watching F1 in 2021, not because of Drive to Survive like most, but because I was just scrolling through Sky Sports and I just saw F1 Bahrain Grand Prix and I was like, oh, okay, let's click on that. There you go. Boom. Hooked. Done. And it all went from there. I do remember, though, my first memory of F1 was back in 2011, 2012, and it was Kimi Räikkönen and his Lotus. That's this flashback that I have. That's my first memory. I was 5. I missed the V8s and V10s, yeah. I mean, I never actually got to see them live, but, you know, just watching races. I mean, I started watching in 2021. I have got F1 TV and watched pretty much every race that's ever happened. So, you know, I do know what you're talking about. But, yeah, no, those engines were great. Also do MotoGP games, and 25 will be all new with the logo, plus Hungary Motor Circuit, plus add the women's WCR to Grand Prix mode and the new BMW motor on the way. I've never played the MotoGP games, to be honest. I played MotoGP 2018, and it was absolutely horrible because I couldn't get to grips with riding a bike, and the controls were really weird. I've never really dabbled into that era. I've never really watched MotoGP, to be honest. I know my father loves MotoGP, but I've never really watched it. I mean, I've watched a couple of races, and they were actually really fun, but I never know when it is or how to watch them. Usually it's on BT, which in England has now been changed to TNT, and that's 35 quid a month. I ain't got that just to watch, you know, MotoGP. I suppose you get Formula E as well, but no one likes Formula E as you know, a sport. That is horrible. I watched on and off for 2007, 2011. I'm only 23, so it was very young, but I do miss the Chrome McLaren. Oh yeah. Wait, you've got TNT in USA. I suppose you would, but I mean, yeah. Yeah, no, I guess you would. Horrible streaming site, really. Although in America, don't you just get ESPN or whatever it's called, and you just get everything? Can't you actually watch, all Premier League games on that ESPN? Or some streaming service in America that costs, $6 a month and you get all Premier League games? Even though in England, we pay, 60 quid a month and get, 4 games a month. As we call it, the 3 PM blackout. Where at 3 PM all the football's off, you can't watch any of it because they don't broadcast any of it. It's crazy to me that an American gets to watch more football, Premier League football, than an Englander. It's weird how that works, but yeah, anyway. I went to the 2012 Australian Grand Prix and the V8 sound still brings back beautiful memories. I bet that was cool. I obviously would like to go to an F1 race at some point in my lifetime. I'd probably be a cheapskate and just go to Hungary because they got the cheapest tickets and go from there. Because I can also probably drive there. It would be like a very... Actually, no. Plane tickets aren't that crazy expensive, to be honest. I know. I would like maybe when I'm a little bit older. And like I'm actually like out and travelling about on my own a bit. Maybe at that point, maybe like go to an F1 race. Because then I know you have to buy one ticket, not 3 or 4 or 5, however many. That could be quite cool. Whoa! 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 Come on, Williams. You've been horrid this entire race. Can we lock it in for the final few laps? ESPN and F1 have a Canadian Sky Sports is afflicted with F1 coverage. Oh, right. I'm going to Turkey next year. I wish they would bring that back. I love Turkey. I mean, I don't know about the country. I've not been there, but, you know, the track and the Grand Prix is bloody fantastic. 2021 Turkish Grand Prix, of course, in place of Japan because of COVID. That was a quality race. And, of course, that Red Bull livery. Oh, so very nice. Right, if I lose this race, I will have to win in Abu Dhabi or outscore Verstappen by 6 to win. So what I'd like to do is get back ahead of him. Now here comes Leclerc. Leclerc should have better acceleration, but I should have better straight line speed. Yep. Bye, Leclerc. Hello, Verstappen. Let's try and go around the outside. This is very brave. I'm going to be ahead before the corner. So if the stewards get involved, I can say that. That is a very important thing, especially against someone like Verstappen. But then my car almost breaks. This car has been, like, a mechanical chihuahua. There you go. That was good. How is there still 3 laps left? I feel like I've been here for ages now. Ooh. Horribly frightening. Right, I'm going to try and turn my ERS off through Sector 2 in hopes of saving up enough to, well, yeah, have enough to defend down the straight is what I'm hoping for. Go, go, Power Rangers. Okay, I reckon it's not a horrible idea to increase my brake bias at this stage. Now, here comes Charlie. Do I have any way to defend from the lad? Kind of. Nearly. Get out my slipstream, Charlie. Don't like it. Stay back. Yep, have I lived? Oh, I have definitely survived. Let's go. Okay, that's 1 lap complete. There's still 2 more, though, for this race. Not fun. I'd like it to be over now, quite frankly, but no, we're still locked for 2 more. Can't wait. I'm just going to try and do the same thing. Just turn ERS off through Sector 2, and then just use it all in Sector 3, and then just defend. It doesn't help, though, when your car is refusing to turn. It's not really what you want from the Formula 1 car. It's not great, really. Tyre wear is really not too bad. Like, it's actually fine. So the fact that, you know, I've got this much snappage going on, like, what is that all about, Derek? Someone's had a little spin of Giles in turn 1. That was not fun. It's going to be Danny Rick who's going to be out of the session. Oh, I'm pressing all the wrong buttons. Oopsies. I might have done me in a little bit, to be honest. So I think I need to use 54% brake bias through most of the lap, and in that one hard braking zone, use 55. is what I might have to do. Okay. We've got one lap left. Just one. Let's see how we get on. Can I win and, like, you know, have a very high chance of winning the championship? Although, to be fair, even in Abu Dhabi, I would still need, if Verstappen wins, I would still need a P2, I think, to, yeah, we need a P2 to still win. So, it ain't over yet. Actually, wait, Verstappen's P3, I just realised. Wait, no, I might be okay, actually. I'd have an 11-point gap. So, I'd only need, like, a P3 or P4. Here comes Charlie. He's going to go for it, this geezer. Now, I'm actually going to let him. Go on, son. Feel free, my guy. Because what that allows me to do is stay behind him, get the DRS down the strip, and then just blitz by him without really any issues. So, yeah, that's my plan. It's a pretty good one, to be honest. Well thought out. Everything went wrong here in my video today at that corner. You can go watch it to find out. Cheeky little plug by Fat Crim. And here I go. Let's try not to mess this up. On the braking. Forgot to increase the brake bias. It's fine. I just changed the hot lap instead. That's good management by me. Here we go. Let's go down to 40% ERS if Verstappen stays back. And then when DRS is enabled, we'll re-enable overtake and try and just go by him. And sayonara, you loser. See you later. Bye-bye. Adios, amigos. Oh, we are so in the clear. Whew. What a difficult race. Definitely made easier with, you know, chatting the entire time. Still a difficult race, though. With the car not really working. Skidding all about the gaff, but, you know, somehow he's only gone and won. So there you go. And my leg is bleeding really bad. Yay, love that. Okay, that was good. I enjoyed that race a lot, to be honest. I mean, I don't actually remember much of it because I was too busy talking all the time, but no, I like that. That was good. I mean, like I said, the car was horrible, but you know what? That's fine. Lovely. Well fought victory? Yeah! I wasn't... Oh. I didn't mean to click advance. I thought I was on standings. Okay, that's tough. I wanted to look at my lap times and, like, the standings. I mean, I know I can still look at the standings, but, okay, you know what? Sure. We actually got some nice points in the constructors as well. I don't think we overtake Ferrari. Still some nice points, though. P1 and P6, that's, like, what? 31 points? 33 points? Something like that? I'm not too sure. Let's have a little look as then. So, standings. Boom! I don't even know how many points. 11 points into Abu Dhabi. All I would need is a P3, and I'm guaranteed the title, but I only need a P3 if Verstappen wins. Any other, if he finished like second, I can finish like P5 or 6 and I'll still win. Like I said at the start of the stream, it's still pretty mental how, I like how at the start of the season, you could tell that I was sort of like getting a feel for it. Then Japan, I figured it out, because P19 is where we were supposed to be. And then it just went a bit wrong. It's got P1, P1, P2, P3, P5, P1, 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 P4, P1. But like I said, we'll finish this season strongly, maybe win the championship, and then next season is when I'll actually start treating it like where our car is, like P6 or 7 fastest. Constructors as well. We overtake for... Wait, what happened to Sainz? Wait, Sainz got 4th and Leclerc got 2nd. But so how did we outscore them? They got... I suppose they only got... They got 30. We got 30. That makes sense, actually. So yeah, we can go into Abu Dhabi. Red Bull... Are they... It's 33... No, Red Bull are still catchable. It would mean, well, a 43... Well, no, 43. I think 43 might be a bit too much, actually. Is 43 too much? Well, it's 25 plus 18, so yeah. No, you can actually score... 44 is the maximum, so it would mean that Red Bull need a double DNF, and we need a 1-2 with the fastest lap. Not looking that likely, is it? So we'll just focus on beating Ferrari. That'll come next time. I don't know when next time will be. I say it at the end of every single stream. I'm gonna start streaming again. I'm not, by the way. I don't know when I'll be live next. It's just whenever I can be bothered is what it comes down to. But that's gonna be all from me for today's stream. Like I said, a bit of a shorter one just to get me back into the rhythm. And still very, very fun though. Do you know what I mean? I still enjoyed it a lot. I have I've said it about 16 times, but I do have a video out. Yeah, the Has to Glory finale. Very, very good. There is also some shorts. It's crazy how I didn't realize how easy shorts were to make. Yeah, I never really noticed it. I used to do, like, one short a month. And then I sort of, like, because I used to clip, like, extremely rare, unique things. I was like, what do I make shorts on? Because nothing really happens. Then I just decided to just take random clips out of my videos. And I can now get, like, 3 a day. Like, it's mental. But, yeah. I don't know when I'll be live next. I know I'll definitely be live, maybe, for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix on Friday. Today's Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, then Friday. I don't know when it actually is. It's like in the afternoon for England. It's like, you know, 12, 1 p.m, that kind of time. I'll probably be there watching practice, and we'll go from there. So thanks for anyone that tuned in, and I will see you lot whenever. You know, I just also heard my tree's gone off. That's tough. My tree looks nice with its lights on. Anyway, see you lot later. Goodbye.
Gain our trust and you chose to break it. Ask for truth, but you only fake it. Thought you said what we had was sacred. It's all lies, all lies. I was broken and isolated, but inside held the fire waiting. Not a word that you say can save this, so don't try. 'Cause this time you crossed the line. Tables turned. Didn't think I'd go this far, but here we are, the end. Now you're just a lesson learned, a slowly fading memory, so I can breathe again. Gain our trust and you chose to break it. Ask for truth, but you only fake it. Thought you said what we had was sacred. It's all lies, all lies. I was broken and isolated, but inside held the fire waiting. Not a word that you say can save this, so don't try. 'Cause this time you crossed the line. This time you crossed the line.
I can't find my way back to you till you make amends with the demons you've been through.